If you were to ask the top builders on Roblox, what new builders are forgetting in their builds, a lot of them might focus on things like, lighting, or maybe their style isn't quite right, or, they could make better use of particles, or they could, some of the details in the builds could be a little bit better or more refined. And those are all great things, but I still think that they're forgetting two core elements that you need to keep in mind whenever you're building. Hey there, I'm EndorsedModel, and today I want to share with you the first pillar of my Build for Success methodology, and I call this the creative mindset pillar. And this is where we start when we're building a map, or we're going to start creating a world. And the creative mindset has two specific parts to it, and the first one is the mood. This is how do we want the player to feel in our map or in our game, and the other one is the gameplay, and this is what are the players going to do. And if you get those two areas, if you know what those two are for your game or for your map, it's going to make the whole rest of the process a whole lot easier. So for example, if your mood was going to be calm, then your lighting and your style and all of that is going to flow. So like, you wouldn't use like a gritty style, or you wouldn't use very harsh lighting if you wanted a calm world. And so you can see how when you understand, like, oh, I want this world to be calm, or like, oh, maybe it's horror and I want it to be kind of scary. Well, in that case, we want the opposite of calm. We want like, more harsh lighting, and maybe the style is going to be a little grittier, and it's, maybe a little bit harsher environment where like stuff's a little more jagged and not very, maybe it's less defined. And so when you understand how you want your player to feel, it'll help you know, like what kinds of lighting you may need, or the theme. And then with your gameplay, that helps you understand, what kind of a layout will we need further down the road. And you don't need the layout right now, but if you just understand what you're supposed to do in the game. So like, for example, if your gameplay, you're making a map for a game that's exploratory, and you want to have your player feel like, they're an adventurer. So we have the gameplay of like, okay, we're exploring, and the feeling of like adventuring through, wilderness. Well, in that case, then you're going to want a larger world. So that helps define that your layout is going to be a lot larger than, say, you were going to have gameplay where you're exploring, but the exploration is not quite as large. So instead of exploring an entire world, you may decide, oh, I want like exploration to be the gameplay, but I want, say, curiosity or intrigue to be the feel of the game. And so in that case, maybe you don't need a big world. You just need like a smaller detailed map that with a lot of little details, so that you can still explore it, but there's a lot more there in that smaller space for players to explore. When you have your feel, your mood, and then you have your gameplay, and you put those together, that just helps inform how you're gonna go about now creating this map, and it helps guide you on the way. And it really is like guideposts on a road. And so if you follow those guideposts, it just makes the whole rest of the process a whole lot easier. This creative mindset, that's just the first step. We have our mood and our gameplay, and that's the first of 4. And so I'm going to be dropping some videos on the other 3 in a little bit. So if you like what you're hearing, if you want to find out what the others are, make sure to hit that subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.